Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's the world's most dangerous podcast.
Dope Dealers Podcast.
You know what it is. We back.
Shit.
It's your man Jamal Doman.
Tobe Hixx.
At Jamal Doman, JamalDoman.
At Tobe Hixx, TOBEHIXX.
Episode 56, we in the mix.
56.
56. Yeah. What's up, Tobe Hixx?
Man, I'm bicking back booling.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Shout out to the armed forces. You know what we're doing
the
for
Army,
them.
Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, National Guard, the Bloods, and the Crips.
There we go. It's going down, man. It's going down, party people. Dope independent music. Opening up the show. That is the homie R.A. Ra. Goes by Ra, man. That is his song called Again. And that is my relative, Tobe Hixx, R.A.
R.A., huh? Well, that's creative as a motherfucker. Right?
Yeah, I don't know if it's short for, his name is Ramir. So okay. I don't, I guess, he came with Ra, but he's been rapping for a while. Ra the rapper.
Where he out of?
He out of Philly. That's my relative. Okay. North Philly.
Okay.
It's my brother's wife, so it's my sister-in-law's nephew.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's my relative, man.
So motherfucker ain't really kin to you, but
yeah. But cool. He sent me a song. He heard about the podcast. He wanted his music to play. Check him out on Instagram. It's poetic_hoodlum. Poetic_hoodlum. That's his Instagram. So please follow him and support him. And Dope Independent Music, you know how we do.
Yeah, check him out.
If you send us music, we will open and close the show with it. We support you. Come just send it in to us, man. It's going down, man. Tobe Hixx, how you feeling, brother?
Man, I am happy to be here. Another week, man. Another episode on this hell of a journey we on.
Yes, sir, man. And we got a great show for you. We got one of the homies in the house, man.
Man.
He gonna rock with us.
I'm
for the
excited to have him.
Yeah, man. He gonna rock. Well, matter of fact, we excited. Let's bring him right on in, man. Let's you got anything you wanna plug or before we bring our special guests in?
No, we just bring him in.
Yeah, let's bring him in. We're gonna talk today. We just talking about the comedy game. We're gonna talk about his career, but we just talk. It's three comics, three OG. Well, he's like he's not a young buck because he been well, I don't know if he young. He's like he been around for a while, man. And ladies and gentlemen, my Puerto Rican brother out of New York City, man. He is the first Puerto Rican that you've seen on Def Jam, killing it, man. You seen him in the movie Cop Out with Bruce Willis and Tracy Morgan. He was in there shooting up the place and playing the gangster, man. You seen him on Orange as the new black man, and he has a new web series that we're gonna talk about called The Book of Game. Ladies and gentlemen, Dope Dealer Podcast presents Cory Fernandez. What's up, homie?
Damn, you did that shit good, Jamal.
Hey, man, you know
that shit real good.
Yeah, man, I I've been
killed that shit.
Yeah, man, I can do a little couple things, man.
Making me feel real good about myself.
Yeah, man. Shit.
Almost made me forget I took an Uber pool to get here just now.
To see if
that's why I'm late.
Yeah,
we had to pick up a passenger on the way.
Get you some boxing matches.
We got to talk about that. Because somebody hit us up on Twitter. They don't like the bell, man. Somebody say, get rid of the bell, man.
Hey, what happened with dude?
Yeah, he was supposed to call in. I'm gonna get him to call in and explain why he thinks that we should get rid of the bell. I'm gonna do that. I may do that later on, man. But fuck that right now. We got the bell. The bell is here, man. Cory, what's going on, man? What's good, brother? Thanks, welcome. We've been trying to get you on here for a minute, man. Thanks
I'm good. I just want to say that by me being on this show, I am not affiliated with the dope dealers whatsoever.
Oh shit!
I am not incriminating myself by being here.
Now when we say dope dealers, we mean dope comedy, dope topics, dope guests, which you are.
Nice.
You know, dope.
And dope.
Yeah, and dope too. Yeah,
I don't know what y'all talking about.
We like to mix it up.
Y'all about to hurt my feelings up in this motherfucker.
That's what's up, man. You've done podcasts before.
Yeah. I'm thinking about starting one.
That's what you got a name for it, or you don't want to tell it right now?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it under wraps.
The Puerto Rican Chronicles. They don't like the Puerto Rican Chronicles? You don't like that?
No, I was thinking of calling it Logically Irrational.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's what's
trying to justify shit, arguing shit.
I can tell you right now, that's gonna be hard for black people to tune into. Them big ass words. Black, like,
they can try to spell it, or they try to bring it in.
Up with dope dealers, nigga. You gonna try to come with logically irrational niggas in the hood? That's hard for them to think of and punch in their phone. Can you imagine niggas trying to punch that in their phone to locate your podcast? They don't spell dope right.
That is true, man. That is true, man.
You might have to cut that one down a little. Make it simpler for niggas.
What's up, man? How's everything been going with you, man? You good, man?
Good.
We just gonna talk the game, man. Go
My
ahead.
birthday just passed.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you had a
man.
Congratulations,
Shit.
happy birthday, another year, man. What you 24 now, man?
Turned 33.
Oh, okay, cool, man. I don't know when you first met Cory. You remember when we first met? I met Cory when he was a young buck.
Yeah.
He was doing Coming to the Stage.
Yep.
He was. That's when I first met him. He came out here.
Years.
Yeah, what was that, about 10 or 10, something like that?
15.
That's when I met him.
Like a little less than 15.
Yeah, I remember
That's when I met him.
Yeah, you came out. I was hanging out on the set, and seeing all Denny live, and you did the first season or second season?
Second season.
You came in what?
In second place.
You came in second place to.
It was Joe Recca.
Joe Recca, rest in peace. Mm-hmm. Joe Recca.
Shout out DMV.
Yeah.
And then it was me second, and then Lil Duval. Duval was
that's
third.
Right, Lil Duval was in that, man.
Yeah.
Good times, man. Good.
And then season 1 was Lil JJ.
Lil
Shout out
JJ,
Lil
yeah.
JJ.
I ran into Lil J. He lives in Jersey now. I ran into him. I didn't even recognize him.
Where'd you see him at?
I went home to Philly, and one of my homies who directed it, I guess Lil JJ works with, had something going on, had a little function. So I'm at the function. I see a guy, and he came up to me and said, "What's up?" He's older now, so you just think of the kid. He got dreads now. He got a beard and everything. So when he walked, I didn't really recognize him. And then later on, he was like, "JJ." I was like, "Oh shit, what's up, man?" He was telling me that he lives like in South Jersey, and he grinding. He's still doing his thing. So shout out to Lil. He ain't Lil JJ no more. He
Seriously,
big,
I remember.
How was that your first? How long was you doing comedy before you got on to Coming to the Stage?
I was brand new, man. I was doing it a year. A year. I tried out for season 1. That was when I first started. Mm-hmm. Probably like a month in. Didn't get it. Did comedy for a year. Ran around in New York doing all the little rooms and stuff. Mm-hmm. My first show was this Jamaican bar in Brooklyn called Footprints.
Oh shit!
It was hosted by Darnell Rollins. But now it's hosted by Freddie Ricks.
Oh shit!
Shout out to them.
Shout out to the OGs.
Damn, the room's still going, huh?
Yep, still to this day, the roughest, toughest Jamaican room you ever did in Brooklyn. They home of the Rasta Pasta.
So you had been doing so you auditioned for first season, didn't get it, so you came back and did the second season.
Yep, did the second season. They called me, and then I didn't know it was gonna go as far as it did. I became a finalist.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went on tour. I left school. I was studying music at the time.
I remember, yeah.
And we went on tour. Me, Joe Recca, Duval, and a couple of other guys from Coming to the Stage.
Mm-hmm. So that was a
nice little run there.
So let's go from the top. How do you become a comedian? How did it start? Did you come from a funny family? How did that whole process?
Consciously,
because you from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Consciously, it started at a community at my college's talent show.
Okay.
That's where I decided I was going to do it. Subconsciously, like all of us in the classroom,
right.
Just clowning around in the classroom. Sometimes I was funny, sometimes I wasn't, but I always tried. So I had the name Corny Cory.
Corny Cory.
Wow. But I always tried, and I think that's where it all began. That was my first audience. Mm-hmm. We was getting in trouble back then for it.
Shout out for telling everybody on the Dope Dealers podcast that they called you Corny Cory. That's funny as hell.
So at what point did you okay, this is what I want to do. I love this. This is my passion. This is what I want to do. At what point did that come?
They started doing these local shows by my house. A.G. White, Ray DeJean. They would
Ray DeJean, yeah.
They would rent out this movie theater across the street from the worst projects in Brooklyn, which was ironically called the Pink Houses. And everybody from there went to the theater, so it was like 300-400 hood motherfuckers in there, and you would stand in front of the screen in the movie theater and do your jokes, and it wasn't easy, it was hard, and I would go there, I would check out those shows, and A.G. White was the first dude I told. I was like, man, I want to do this, but how do I get into this?
Yeah.
And then he was like, go home, put together your funniest 5 minutes, and then come back and see me.
Right.
Damn, he said it like it was a job interview. Go put your shit together and come back and see me.
Right, like it was the only way was through him.
Yeah. That's
it was
funny.
no other way around that.
Damn.
And
so did you go do it? You went home and got
together. Yeah, I put together the jokes. I never got to see AG again. My uncle was driving limousines at the time. Mm-hmm. He picked up Darnell Rawlins.
Right.
And he was like, man, my nephew just, did his, first thing at the community college. He wants to get into it. Mm-hmm. So he was like, man, tell him to come see me. I host the spot on Tuesday.
Right, okay.
And then, that's how it all started. I finally got to meet him that night. I remember seeing the crowd and like it looked hard and I got intimidated. I didn't want to go on. So I told Darnell, I was like, man, let me get my jokes together and I'll come back next week. No, next week I'll be here. Yeah. And he was like, all right, man. He was like, you sure you don't be scared, man. Don't be scared, son. Just come on. I was like, no, next week. So he's like, just come and have a drink. Next thing you know, I go in, motherfucker brings me up on stage.
Oh, wow.
And that's how it all started. I was forced to go up there. And it wasn't bad, man. Considering the type of room that it was, it wasn't bad.
Some of them rough rooms, that makes you tough. That really sharpens the sword, doing them tough rooms, man. That's funny how you run into them comedians who you never see them at the tough rooms. They're selective. They only go where they think, where it's nice. And I'm like, nah, man, you gotta go where everywhere. You gotta go to them rooms too, but go to them tough rooms too.
They go where they safe. You know? And that's what that's why they stuck in the same zone because I mean it's rooms that people been afraid to come to. You know what I'm saying?
The Wild Coyotes back in the day.
Oh yeah, Wild Coyotes.
Tiffany had it. Did you do
San Manuel?
I don't know if you used to do that. Yeah,
man.
Nobody really liked to do it. A lot of comics hated that. I loved that room.
I loved it too.
Especially they paid good too.
And the thing is, just like those other rooms, it's just like one thing about when Tiffany and hosted San Manuel or whatever, that shit is like, it was hard to make them laugh, but you knew if you made them motherfuckers laugh, you could make anybody laugh. Yeah. And then once you made them laugh, they loved you. I'd see motherfuckers out in other places. They'd be like, I seen you at San Manuel Casino. And shit, it's hard to get respect up out of that motherfucker. That's why when people talked about, Tiffany and the situation she been in, they don't know what the fuck, where she come from and the shit she done grinded to.
Yeah.
They act like she just popped out of nowhere too.
Yeah, man, that's always like that. They think, that's the first time I seen you. Then it's funny now you got YouTube so people can do research. I remember I did something and people thought I was a new comic, but then I can tell who did they research and YouTube me and seen clips from 12 years ago. Yeah. It was like, oh, okay. Somebody hit me up like, oh, you've been around for a while.
And that's the thing, like, me and Cory was talking about is like, shit, back in the days when the motherfucker used to bomb, the only people that knew was the people at the club. Nowadays, the motherfucker bomb, everybody know before you even get to the house. Damn, I seen Tobe, man, that nigga bombed tonight. Shit.
You know, 1 million views.
Yeah.
That'd be the most views you ever get.
And what's crazy? I think I talked about, it's funny, we was going to talk about like our worst bomb, but it's funny that, because I went to Philly maybe a couple years ago, did a show. Did you ever do, what's his name? Malcolm Hill has that hibachis. You ever did hibachi? That's
on the water, right?
On the waterfront. Yeah. And I didn't know that they put up like, because I guess some comedians help them sell tickets, so you sell tickets, you get on stage, no matter how bad you are. Mm. So the show has two halves. The first half, they put up some of the most awful comics in the world,
new comics, most.
But they sold tickets.
Yeah, okay.
And then they do an intermission, and then they come back with kind of the main show.
Veteran comics. Okay.
Yeah, so I knew it's one of them things I said, okay, I didn't kill it, but I thought I did all right. But the next day I'm coming home, I'm coming back to LA and I get a call from one of my homies. He was like, hey man, so how you do last night at the hibachis? Like he already in LA. I said, all right. He on the phone with the promoter. He got the promoter on the phone to my other homie. I guess some girl who was there was like mall bomb like a motherfucker. So they call, so I get this call like, damn, we heard it wasn't really good. I was like, I got the promoter. I was like, I thought I did okay. I know I ain't kill it. Promoter was like, nah, G. I was
but why would a nigga even call you with that shit? If the promoter told him you bombed, then nigga, why you need to hear you say it?
They was cool. Your homies gonna ride, going. Your homies gonna always clown and stuff funny. Like that.
We was talking about that on the way here. Have you ever done Benji Brown's room in Miami?
Oh no, but I heard about that room. Yeah. I never did. You did it?
Yeah, that was a tough one. And Miami's finest comes out on that night.
Now, who told me? D-Lay told me a story. Now, D-Lay said he did it one night. And he said Benji would kind of, I don't know if you tell me if Benji would kind of hype the crowd into kind of booing comments. Yeah. Like he would kind of tell him like, hey, y'all know how, hey, if he ain't funny, y'all let him know.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of motherfuckers do that. Go ahead.
And he said, like one comic went up there, did okay. And they said Benji came out there, was kind of like mad at, this D-Lay telling me the story. Benji came out there, was kind of mad at the crowd, like, y'all disappoint me. Y'all let him make it the whole way. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'd have been mad that the dude survived. I'm like,
how did he enjoy to see niggas bombing? What type of shit is that?
And yeah, it's
that's not fun.
Did you did it? You did it.
Yeah, I did it. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad. I was telling Toby, one night I had to do it the night when the Heat and LeBron was in the finals.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah.
You ever had to do like a show on a big night? Like one time I had to do the first time Obama won.
Oh shit. That we performed on 9/11. You remember?
Yeah, I remember that.
9/11. We had a show in San Diego that Wednesday night. They used to do Moons.
But I was telling also, I remember I did Sacramento. The Hood Room, they got hosted by Andre Bailey now that B.T. Kingsley used to host in Sacramento. That motherfucker, they ain't no joke. You got to bring it up in there. And I did that shit Super Bowl Sunday one year, and I was like, they shouldn't even have this show. Motherfucker was so drunk by the time that shit. They wasn't listening to that shit.
Sometimes don't you wish you were comfortable financially wise when somebody call you and you look at your day, be like Super Bowl Sunday. Nah, I'm gonna have to turn that down.
No, the way it worked though, I had a Saturday night. I was already up in Northern Cali.
It was part of your run.
Yeah. I was booked on Saturday, and they was like, once you stay and do Sunday over here, and I was like, fuck it, Super Bowl. And I watched the game. Yeah, motherfuckers was not listening.
How many times did you do Benji Brown room? So you did it several.
It was a few times. Like 5.
Was it good money? Was it at least worth it?
It was a run. So you would do like Miami, then Fort Lauderdale, then West Palm Beach.
I heard it. Yeah, I remember that run. I heard. I never did that run, but I remember.
Was the other rooms hood too?
Yeah, but the Miami one was the worst one.
Yeah, I heard that was like the Did you ever do Lil Duval room back in the
Atlanta?
Day? That was I heard that was his T.I. like he did some with. I heard his room was tough too.
Yes,
I think Scruncho told me the story. He took an L there.
Yeah, I took an L there.
That's funny.
You see that's how good Jamal is that he just walk. He know already what he doing. He walk you right into.
No, I had no idea, but I know. I remember.
You didn't already called yourself Corny Cory.
I thought Duval. I think was it Duval told me the story. Scruncho told me the story when Scruncho came down there and Duval said, the nigga, because the nigga was in the back after it's over looking at his phone he said Scruncho called his daughter up but we all
talk to somebody.
We all listen. We all, you know what I mean? It happens to the best. Matter of fact, if you ain't Earthquake said that, you ain't been through nothing. You ain't been booed. You ain't really been in the game like that.
Anybody.
And it's also like what you said too. To my defense, Duval set it up like an Apollo night.
Oh yeah, I heard it was I heard that room.
Apollo shit.
Yeah, I heard. And when they thinking like that, when they thinking they got the power over you, I think they take that for I'm gonna get this nigga 1 minute.
They do shit. They act crazy even when you funny. When you you could be funny that night.
Yeah,
they mentality still is in that same Apollo type shit.
So, this night was huge, man. It was T.I. in the building, Grand Hustle, ATL's finest strippers. Mm-hmm. The parking lot was a movie. That's how I knew that the inside was going to be crazy. Mm-hmm. They had the cameras on. They were shooting a pilot at the time, produced by T.I.
Oh, shit.
It was a huge night. And so me thinking I'm so funny, I was new in the game. I'm thinking I'm so funny. Mm-hmm. I went out there at first. I said a few jokes about Duval. Shit just went nowhere. Then I started getting on T.I., and that's when the booze started.
Oh,
Damn, you went to Atlanta and tried to get on T. Yeah, you was tripping.
And it wasn't like, like one of them booze where it's like from a section where, it's like a group of thugs in the back. Mm-hmm. It was just everybody.
Yeah.
Front, back, left, right. I had nothing to do but to get the fuck up out of there.
How long you think you was on stage? Like 10?
It was the very beginning, like as soon as I came out.
So you was like, I'm out of there. I never really. I remember back in the early 2000s. I never really did good down south. I remember I got booked to FAMU one time. FAMU had a. Was it FAMU or Clark? What's in Jacksonville? What's Tallahassee?
Well, see, you know what it is.
What's in Tallahassee?
Motherfuckers
FAMU?
down south.
FAMU. It's FAMU.
Motherfuckers down south don't want to think too much about the jokes. You gotta have some basic shit that they can just laugh at immediately. They don't want to do no thinking.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Now I remember, and it's funny because I was in because I just bombed at Chocolate Sundays. I told that story. I know who bombs at Chocolate. I used to
don't know how you bombed.
D-Ray came in there, went up before me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Did a guest spot, went up there, killed, and I went up there, and like my second joke was this new joke that for some reason I thought was, how you feel good about a joke? No. And it was one of them sets, I went downhill and I kept the whole set, I was keep trying to.
Yeah, why you you knew you was going after D-Ray, why you didn't just do your best?
I wasn't thinking. This is early, mid 2000s. So I bombed at Chocolate Sundays. Then Tuesday, I flew to FAMU. I had this college gig do FAMU. They had a Tuesday night there. I go there. They booed me. Like it was me and Spike Davis. Remember Spike Davis?
Yeah.
I was featuring. Spike was headlining at the college. It was packed. I mean, I went up there. I started a couple of my jokes and it just went downhill. They booed me, but I was like, what can I do? And so in the back, Spike was like, don't even worry about it. And Spike, he's from down south. He knows.
You had a rough week.
Yeah, I know. That was a rough.
Damn.
I remember I flew back home. This had to be 2004 or something. I flew back home and I was just like, this one of them times you got to reassess what you doing, like what you doing wrong. I remember I talked to a couple comics. I called Chris Spence. I talked to a couple comics.
Hold on, nigga. You called for counseling after bombing?
Yeah, well, I just talked to you. Yeah, sometimes you got to talk to some comics, like just like, hey, and they gave me some great advice, and I haven't since then, 2004.
I don't know if I've called anybody to tell them I was bombing.
I don't think I had a rough stretch since then. Yeah, I don't think I had a rough.
I don't know if I've ever called anybody. The conversation might have came up, but I ain't never felt like, man, nigga, the show was hard, nigga. Goddamn, who can I call? Let me let me call Rodney Perry. Goddamn, and just asking what the fuck and telling what was going on.
There's nothing wrong with.
This nigga said he called Chris Spencer.
There's nothing wrong with Ben Simmons trying to talk to Magic Johnson. Ain't nothing wrong with just you know what? We're off the bombing, the rough sets, man. Let's talk. You know what? Let's talk. What's your best time on stage? Like, what? Think about your career. Like, what was you think, man? That was my best. Do you have like a one moment or two moments? Like, tell
one
us
of your favorite.
One of your favorite moments that on stage with,
Yes, my best time is never in this country. All my international shows are the shit. I be killing that shit. Then I come back to the States and back to the conversation we were just having before.
It's funny because music artists say that. They say for some reason, like overseas, we have our best show. Like they love us overseas. I hear rappers, I go to Europe and the love that we get over there, we come here. And our people,
because it ain't just because of the artist's talent overseas. It's because you're black too. That's half the battle right there. See, you go overseas. I mean, different.
Well, technically,
countries.
Cory is Puerto Rican, but go ahead.
Well, of color is what I'm saying. I mean, like you were saying, rappers, how they get there, because they black, and the women in those other countries want to experiment with the black man, and so then they definitely go enjoy the music because they trying to get the dick too, so it's the whole combination.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
I think it is more like an appeal, like we exotic.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I used to do this club in Canada. I don't do it no more. That guy was robbing comics, but it was a cool club. But I remember he booked me, and because I noticed he brought a lot of urban comics up there, so he booked me, and I remember he was telling me over the phone. He was like, "You're going to do great out here," and he was, white Canadian guy. He was like, he said, man, I book a lot of urban comics. He said, y'all do well out here. He said, they like what y'all say. He was telling me, my audience love you got love whatever y'all saying. Yeah, that's he was. He wasn't saying that technically, but he was like he said y'all do well up here. Like they love what you say, like what you. Because it was my first time going to Canada. You know, even though we obviously speak the same language, have kind of the same culture, I still was thinking like it was Edmonton. So I was like, I was talking on the phone. I said they gonna get everything. Like they get. He said they get everything up here. They love y'all. That's why I book a lot of urban comics.
That's funny because
it's true. I went up there and they got everything.
I remember having a conversation with Tommy T, the owner of Tommy T's up there, and he was just saying how, you know, he just likes to book urban acts because they're the funny ones and people enjoy them more. He said, man, every time I try to book a white comedian, even if it's a famous white comedian, he said the people just don't enjoy it. Like for some reason in his market. That's what he was saying.
No, I mean, everything is
But then I kind of figured that when I heard E40 rap about going to Tommy T's, I said, okay, I see his market then. No wonder the white comics don't do well up there.
Yeah, that's the one in Sacramento. You talking about? We did. Yeah, was that the one we did? We did with Michael Blackson. Yep. Yeah. That's what. Yeah, I didn't really like my setup there, but I hear it's a good room, man. So Cory, so what year did you get out to L.A.? I know. So you from New York? You got out here?
I just moved out here in 2015.
Oh, so you're kind of fresh out here. So what? Because you have been doing it for a while, so I know. What was that transition? How was that? I know a lot of New York comics don't really like LA. How was that like the thought process of moving out here?
Well, basically, hold on, y'all. My passenger's waiting in my car.
That's funny.
Dope Dealer Podcast, and you know how I go down.
Well, basically, I'm out here Uber driving. New York, I didn't have a day job. I was just doing stand-up.
Right.
And, you know, I expected it.
So you kind of knew what you was getting to.
Yeah.
To come out.
Before coming out, I was seeing about the Uber thing and all that. And I felt like, you know, it's probably going to feel like starting over again.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure.
A lot of comics are scared to do that.
Yeah.
I have conversations with Philly comics who've been telling me for 10 years they moving out here.
Yeah.
And keep telling me every year, I'm moving out there. Buck Wild.
It ain't even just comedy though. It's just in life. People scared to make a decision like that.
I know what it is. They scared to start over.
Yeah. They're making money back home. Yeah, so I had to figure out a way. I was like, how can I still pay bills even if the shows are slow? And that's when I started driving out here. So that's like probably the biggest difference.
Right. Just
being able to just eat off of comedy and then coming out here and having a day job again.
Yeah.
But besides that, I also see how being out here, you know, gets me in a lot of large rooms.
Yeah.
You know, like I've auditioned for a lot of big shit out here.
Yeah.
And I know it's only a matter of time before something hits. So I see why being here is valuable, you know?
Yeah.
Now, even though now, you know, we're in a time where, like I say, Hollywood is getting portable. Because, you know, digital media and social media, people could just shoot from anywhere and create from anywhere now. You don't got to like
podcast.
Exactly. So I feel like now it's not as important to be here as it was back in the days, but I still see how being here, you know, got me shit that I wouldn't have gotten if I was in New York.
Right.
And at the same time, being in New York was great too because I was able to get shit out there too because there was so many things being shot out there.
Yeah. Now, how did Cop Out come about? How did that come about?
That was an audition. They said I looked like a criminal, so I got it.
How many times did you have to audition?
The first time was the casting director. Then the second time was the director. And then that was a dream come true.
What was that call that you got? What was that call like? Like where was you at? Like,
I was in the Bronx at the time. I was renting out a spot in my cousin's place, and I got my agent called me. He's like, "Yeah, man, they said they passed up on you and got somebody else." I was like, "All right, well, you know, same shit."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Nah, I'm playing. You got it." I was like, "For real?" And you know, it was a dream come true because I thought that my first movie would be something like, you know, like The Cookout or you know, Soul Plane or something like a comedy thing like that. But I didn't know it would be like me working with Bruce Willis and also Kevin Smith from Clerks.
He directed that?
Yeah.
Kevin Smith directed that. Oh, that was that was cool, man. So that got it. So you on the set, you because your scene was with both of them, So you on set, you know, did you know Tracy beforehand? Or?
No. I used to bump into him, but that was really my first time seeing him was at the table read.
Oh, okay. So you went to the table. Oh, you was official. You were at the table read.
Yeah, I was at the table read.
Oh, shit.
And when I walked in, Tracy looked at me, he's like, "You did Def Jam?" I was like, yeah, I did Def Jam. He's like, oh, okay. When you did Def Jam? And I told him, I did the new one. You know, I did it when it came back. He was like, all right. He was like, yeah, you roll with Bob and them. Who else you roll with? And I started talking about everybody from around the way. And we bonded immediately, having a stand-up background.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
Bruce was cool. Bruce, he was quiet, but every now and then he talked, you know. The coolest was Kevin, and also the dude that played my brother, Guillermo Diaz from Scandal.
He's been around,
He was in Half Baked.
Half Baked, he was in Half Baked, yeah.
So those were the guys I bonded with the most. But that movie had a cast. Like, It had, what's his name from American Pie, Stifler.
That's right, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot It
had also another comedian, I forgot. Kevin Pollak.
Oh, Kevin Pollak. Yeah. Kevin Pollak was in there.
Susie Essman from Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Susie was in there. Oh, yeah.
Jim Norton was in it.
Oh, shit. So,
Carlos, Jordan Carlos.
Y'all had a premiere, red carpet, all that shit, all that good shit.
Red carpet premiere in New York. It was the best, man. I got to shoot it in my hometown.
Yeah.
Invited my friends, my family on set.
I know they was like, I know they was like, your family, like, really? Where you at? You filming with Bruce Willis? Where?
Yeah,
I'm coming. Y'all in the Queens? I'm coming down there, man.
Yeah, we went to the premiere party. My mom's had her titties all out. I was like, Mom, I know Bruce is going to be here, but put the titties away. Damn.
That's cool, man. Now, one thing you just brought it up, that was huge, was the Def Jam coming back, and when Def Jam came back and you getting on deck, because I know every comic was trying, and their mother was saying, I didn't get picked for that, but how was that like? And I always remember your joke about the immigrants stepping over Mexico, stepping over Canada. I want to get into your writing process, but how was that, like that Def Jam, like, because I know we all came up, you know what I mean, watching that, so to be on that show.
Yeah, that another dream come true, just like Cop Out. Those I would say are the two pinnacles. Mm-hmm. That was my first time on HBO, first time, working with Russell, with Stan.
Stan Lathan, the legend.
Shooting in L.A., everything being paid for, it was
Was that Mike Epps or DL?
DL.
That was DL, okay.
Working with DL. And then, also getting on the show with my friends from New York. Smokey.
Smokey did.
A few other cats did it.
I think Teray did that season,
Teray
too.
did it, yep.
Yeah, that was a cool...
B-Flat.
That's right, B-Flat did do it, man.
Who else? It was a bunch of cats. And that was just dope, man. Like, just performing at this huge theater, star-studded theater, all the stars in there.
Was you nervous?
Yeah, super nervous. You can see it when you see my set. That's why you can't find it online. I just keep deleting it every time it pop up.
Oh, you can't? Yeah.
That's fun.
That's a good... I figured it, because I know Teray, that tape, Teray of that Def Jam, I know he told me he got a lot of work from that tape. Like, he just... When he would call people and send them that tape, and they'd be like, oh, that's you, because a lot of people... Oh, So did you get a lot of work from that?
Yeah.
After that, you did a lot of colleges too. I mean, you was doing the colleges big at one point, right? Did you do NACA and all that?
Yeah, NACA. You used to do that too, right?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. Shout out to Brian Dennis.
Yeah, I used to do NACA, and that's what got you into the college market.
Yeah.
And
I think you're the one that told me that. What's the other one? Not NACA.
Oh, APCA.
I think you was hipping me to how you do that, the process of paying for your own stuff like that.
Yep. Comics, if y'all don't know about it, NACA, NACA, APCA, APCA, look it up, Google
you
it.
Can eat it. You can just eat off them colleges. I know comics who just eat off them colleges, man.
And that's how they get it too. And you don't know people's doing stuff until you show up, and then you start seeing all the other comics, and you're like, oh, y'all do this too?
Yeah.
No wonder why. That's how y'all get them colleges.
Yeah. I mean, the one NACA I got picked to do a regional, like in North Carolina. Wasn't a major, it was like a regional. But they canceled. I guess it wasn't enough colleges. I got through Brian Dennis.
Yeah.
It wasn't enough colleges in the area that the city they was going to participate, so I ended up canceling the shit. I was like, God damn. The one time I get in, they cancel the regional, man. Let's talk about your writing, because I love your writing process, and I love the way you have developed as a comic. What's your writing process? How'd you come up with a joke?
I feel like I'm not diligent enough when it comes to writing, because I feel like I write leisurely as opposed to diligently. Diligently is like, that's your job. Leisurely is like, oh, that's funny, let me jot it down.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
But it just depends. Everybody's different. You know, some motherfuckers can sit down and say, okay, every day at 2 o'clock, I'm going to start writing.
Yeah, I can't do that.
And they can do it. And it works for them. You know, that doesn't work for me. So I totally understand what you're saying, you know?
Yeah, and I want to get, you know, because it's ultimately it's how much you're creating, you know,
Right.
like how much you're putting out. So, you know, you got to really treat it like a job and just try to hash it out. Even if you feel like you got writer's block, you know?
Like, let's say, how often can you come up with material? How is it? Is just what comes to you? Or you think you come up with a joke a month, 2 jokes a month, or how does it? How often do you think you come up with material?
I mean, it's a difference between how often I get a joke and then how often I write it down.
You're right. Yeah, that's true too.
know?
Because sometimes I'll be in the bed before I go to, and something come in my mind, I'll be like, I'll write it down in the morning.
And then you forget.
I forget totally.
Yeah,
What the fuck did I think about? Yeah. All right, let me put it to you this way. Let's say you do a club, Corey. Let's say, you do Tommy T's in August, and what you do, headline, 45 minutes. Let's say you come back the next year, August, a year later, because you usually come to a club once a year. How much different material will you have the next year you come back?
It would probably be maybe anywhere from another 10 to 20 minutes.
Right, but different from, okay. Yeah.
Maybe if I'm like writing real hard, maybe like half hour.
Okay, yeah, that's like, yeah, because it's funny because sometimes I used to do clubs and people be like, usually people are like, are you going to do the same jokes from last time? I said, you're probably going to hear, if I do 45, you're probably going to hear half, it's going to be half from last time. Then I got half more. Like I ain't got no writers. Like I ain't that prolific.
That's the thing about comedy and music, right? The big difference is you could keep singing them old hits.
Yeah, man.
But getting them checks, but you can't do that with comedy.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like though, the way I think though is most of my material, I try to do it like Marvin Gaye, like Tupac. And what I mean is that I try to write jokes that will stick, no matter what. I got jokes that I've been saying for years, and I just keep adding on to them because there's no time limit on certain things, besides current events. So that's always a cool way. That's like, shit, you could pop in a Marvin Gaye song right now, and people don't know what year it was made, and I try to have my material like that too, like, that they could just pop it in, and I mean, because I can say fuck fat people for the rest of my life.
Well, but sometimes you get requests like, hey, man, like I know comics that I love certain jokes they do. If I be like, hey, nigga, if I'm in the club,
like, I hope you do that one.
Yeah, Donovan had a funny joke that he doesn't.
People ask for it. Yeah,
doesn't do that much. He does the joke about he going home to Mississippi, people picking cotton, his friends picking. I don't know if y'all ever heard him do. The joke is hilarious to me. Anytime I say, man, please do that joke, man. Yeah. And sometimes you just want to see how the crowd is going to react to this joke and stuff like that, man. I remember coming out when I first got out to LA. Earthquake was like that nigga. When I first moved out here, Earthquake was smoking rooms.
Yeah, he's still smoking.
Still smoking them. I mean, I'm talking about destroying Fat Tuesdays. Yeah,
he was at his
and he used to always have that joke he end with about what was the baby complaining to the mother. You remember? And when you gonna get me a new car seat? I'm too big for this. Remember that joke? It was like a long. He did this whole bit about the baby. Oh my God! I don't care how many times I've seen that joke. I love that fucking joke. I could watch him do that joke like 100 times, man. So, Corey, you on the road a lot. You're one of the comedians you're blessed. You get on the road a lot, man. You've been overseas. Tell us what countries you've been to.
Luckily doing comedy, you get to perform for the troops. And they send you all over the place. That's one of the good things about it. Like, you get to see the world and experience new audiences. And I was lucky enough to go to, like, England, Germany. I went to Australia.
Oh shit!
I went to.
I've never been to Australia, man. I've never been to England too. There's still 2 places I want to go, man.
Japan.
Japan's fun, yeah.
And
I love Japan.
And it's dope, man. You mostly you're on base.
Yeah.
And then you get to see a little bit of outside. You know, they take you out and stuff like that. And most of your audience is all troops.
Yeah, all troops. Yeah.
But you get a little bit of other people too.
They took me out.
They know how to party, right?
Yeah, they do.
They sometimes they party a little bit too much. I've been to Japan.
How to get prostitutes too. In the military, they know right where to go.
No, it's funny. I remember. Where did we go? We was in Afghanistan. I don't know know if you was on that tour with me.
Yeah, where they
was Curtis Arsenal was with me. Did you go?
No,
on that
I wasn't
one?
on that one when he was selling the DVDs.
Yes, I went on this. So you know they tell you don't mess with the females. They tell you, and you know I was at that point. I follow rules. Like I ain't nothing fucking up my money, Corey. So the rules was like, you can't sell nothing, no product, because we was in a war zone, and don't. Fornicating with the, so we did a party, you did the show, after they always throw you a party. And it was this female soldier, black girl, little hood rat. And she was getting friendly with everybody, and I can tell she wanted to be, but get the fuck away from me.
Yeah.
You ain't messing with me. And, so I was like, hey, leave me alone. You ain't fucking up my money. So around 2 a.m, I go back to my room. We all had our separate rooms. We all next to each other, all the comics. And I'm going back to my room. And the comic who was staying, I'm not going to out him. The comic who was staying next to me, when I'm going to my room, his door opens up. The girl walks out. And he walking out with her. So I guess he took up on her offer. I was just looking. I was like, hey, man, fuck that. Ain't no pussy worth. Well, leave. Ain't nothing messing with my money. But just talking about Japan, I've been over Japan 3 times, man. One time I had to cancel on this promoter because I booked a movie. So I had to cancel on him. And like he went wow on me. Like he was talking about he was gonna sue me and everything. I'm like, for $1,500? Like, damn, dude.
That's crazy.
Like,
same thing happened to me.
Yeah, so I was just like,
$1,500.
Yeah.
That's
so I'm
hilarious.
like, dude. I was like, dude, we'll work it out, man. I'll make up a show for you. And he held me to it. So he called me one time. He's like, it's time for you to make up that show for me. I got to come over to Japan. Basically, I went over there for free. Basically, just to get him the fuck off my. And I went over. I did the show pretty much for free. So I went over there, and it's crazy. I flew over there. It was only one show. I flew fucking what's Japan? 11 hours.
Yeah, I remember that.
I flew 11 hours. You get there. I think we went to sleep. The show was the next day. I did the show. Flew out the next day. Just to leave me the fuck alone.
I remember.
You know what I mean?
I remember we went to Iraq.
Yeah.
Remember we was in Iraq. I think it was Iraq when. Remember when I went up in Iraq and it was about, I never forget, it was like 700 Marines at this spot in Iraq we was at. Mm-hmm. And I remember walking around that day and just on the makeshift base they had set up. And I was speaking to women, just saying hi or whatever, and nobody was really responding, Yeah. So when it was time to do the show, they wouldn't say hello really or nothing. So then when the show came, I don't even know what made me do it, but I thought about it, and then I went in. I said, fuck it, I'm doing it. So I go out there, and I'm doing my shit, and I'm like, hey, I just want to let some of y'all know, I was walking around base today, and I was saying hi to women, and, people weren't really speaking or whatever, not cordial, and I'm like, I didn't understand that shit. I said, because half you bitches back home, we wouldn't even talk to y'all. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
That's real.
We wouldn't even speak to y'all in America.
They dimes on the base.
Yeah, and now they walking around the base acting all fly and shit. And so after I finished my set, right, it was a black general. I'll never forget this shit. He came up to me, pulled me to the side. He was like, young brother, come over here, let me holler at you a minute. So I'm like, damn, he gonna tell me about saying something about, the women and shit like that. And he said, man, that shit you said about them was so fucking funny. He said, I've been in this military for 25 years and I've been wanting to tell them bitches that shit the whole time. And me and him fell out laughing. I was like, we wouldn't even talk to you bitches in America.
It's true.
I said that.
And you know what? The same thing with the dudes. The cornballs be having the baddest chicks.
Yeah, yeah. That shit was funny as fuck.
Hey, so Ro, what's your favorite cities to perform in?
None are in this country.
You really don't like perform?
No, I love New York and L.A. Mm-hmm. New York and L.A. is dope. So many different spots to hit up.
Any crazy road stories, promoters you had to beat the fuck up to get your money? No groupies, no crazy groupie stories and nothing like that?
Well, okay, you know how like we all have them bad nights, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Where you're supposed to do a show, it gets canceled, and you got to end up going home with nothing.
Yeah.
No money, no nothing.
Yeah.
Even when they really supposed to give you at least half.
Some, yeah.
So
you got to the show, when you get to the show and they be like, nobody show up, and the promoter be like, hey man, we're going to have to cancel this.
So that's what happened to me. Yeah. I got to the show canceled, sent me back home with no money. Only thing is, my only minor detail I'm leaving out is the show was in Australia.
Oh,
damn,
shit.
You didn't get no money?
You at least got a deposit, right?
No.
Oh.
I can't even imagine that.
Oh shit! I don't think
you know what. And I thought, that because you went that far, that tops my. I had a fucked up story about not getting. But what happened was one of my childhood friend I grew up with, right, my whole life, one of my best friends in the world. He passed away, right? So obviously I'm like, damn, so it's time for the funeral or whatever. And I'm booked that night, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, and not only was I booked, I had put the whole show together. It was out of town, and I was the host. I had booked the other acts, whatever. So it wasn't like if I canceled, it wasn't just me canceling. It was me canceling the whole shit.
Right.
And other people was expecting their money and all this. And so I'm like, damn, what do I do? And I thought about it. I said, well, you know what? My homeboy Doc he would want me to do the show. Mm-hmm. He wouldn't want everybody to lose their money. He would want me to do the show.
Right.
So I'm feeling bad about it. I'm like, damn, I couldn't go home to his funeral. It's bothering me. So then we go to do the show, and nobody hardly shows up. And the promoter didn't have the money to pay everybody. Mm-hmm. But what he did was he had some money. So because I booked these other comics, I had to pay him. I took the money he gave me, I paid everybody, and I ended up making no money. So I missed my homeboy's funeral, and I made no money for it. I was so disgusted about that shit. That shit had me all fucked up. But hit the bell. Like a year and a half later, the promoter hit me up and paid me my money.
I think you told me that story.
From that night.
Yeah, yeah.
He didn't know my homeboy had died or nothing. He just knew he hadn't paid me. Mm-hmm. But he ended up paying me.
Right.
He was a stand-up individual. He just didn't have it that night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I want to give a quick shout-out to a comedian, L.A. comic out here, Steve Fly. What's good?
Steve Fly. I just saw him at...
Fly.
Well, I see him at Jersey Mike's like last week.
Man, let me tell you, I did a show with Steve a couple of weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. I walked into the place. It was around the time that it was supposed to be starting, and the whole place empty. The whole place empty. I was like, here we go. Mm-hmm. I drove all the way out to Whittier.
Yeah.
And Steve comes up to me. I'm like, all right, here comes the cancel speech. And the first thing he does is he give me a pound, gives me my money in my hand.
Yeah,
boom.
yeah. Oh, okay.
I was already paid for, and he was like, hey, man, it's light, but it's going to fill up, and we going to keep it going. And, sure enough, we waited a little bit. The place was filled up by the end of it, and it worked out.
So it worked out,
Wow.
And, but the whole thing is, regardless of whether it was packed or not,
nobody was showed up. You was paid.
And that's good. And it's good, because usually comics we know what we go through. So, comics going to make
it's
sure.
one thing when a promoter do that. When another comic do that,
That's what I'm saying. When I hear a comic fucked another comic, I'll be like, nah, because you ain't, come on, man. All right, so we don't have too much time left. We do something called the Dope 7, Corey. I'm going to ask you 7 dope questions, and you just give me whatever the answer comes to your mind, all right? Okay. So top 3 cereals, top 3 morning cereals.
Frosted Flakes.
Okay. Yeah.
Apple Jacks.
Okay.
Fruit Loops.
Okay. All right.
All the hood shit. All the cheap-ass cereals.
All right. Last TV show you binged on.
I'm watching the Tupac Biggie Unsolved.
Oh yeah. I think my homie P Frank produced that. My homie P Frank produced
How long is it? You said I'm watching. Is it that long? God
it's
damn.
a series.
It's a series, yeah.
And
niggas
what channel
only
is it
live
on?
20 years.
It's kind of like the OJ joint. You ever seen that?
Oh, okay.
It's right. I think it's from the same people who did the OJ joint. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I like that. It's good. It's good. I started watching because rest in peace, Biggie died a few days ago.
Yeah.
And I threw that on, and it's good. Y'all should check it out.
Greatest rapper of all time died on March 9th.
Come on.
Greatest rapper. Listen, man. It's Dope 7, man. Question number 3.
Anything, nigga.
Favorite Wu-Tang Clan member.
Raekwon.
There you go, the chef, Raekwon the chef. Only built for Cuban links, one of the greatest. I think I kind of asked you this, but not exactly. Favorite city to perform in, but you said overseas, right? You got to pick your America, so it's got to be in the United States. You got to give me a city.
Yeah. In the U.S., NY. NY is fun.
Hometown. Tennis shoes or sneakers?
Sneakers.
Yeah, that's easy because you East Coast. We say sneakers. Martin or the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Martin.
All right. Favorite episode? Bonus question. Favorite episode of Martin?
The Rat.
Oh yeah. When they went on vacation,
When they went on
fucked up.
vacation. Yeah.
Okay. What would you, all right? What would your porn name be if you was a porno star? What would your porn name be? We can come back to it if you want.
Light bright.
The Puerto Rican assassin.
Let's come back to that.
We'll come back to that.
That caught me off guard.
Last question. If you were not a comedian, what would you be doing?
Well, I will probably be in filmmaking. Because I went to school for that. Okay. As you can see, it's working out. I took filmmaking, I took directing, and
behind the scenes, and stuff like that, man. That's cool, man. That was the dope 7. I think it was dope 8, actually. You didn't answer one question, but I think I gave you a bonus question, so that we all good, man. Okay. So what you got coming up, man? We got a web series on right now.
We just screened it at the Pan African Film Festival. It's called The Book of Game.
The Book of Game. Tell us what's that about?
My dude Charles Kellum, he wrote it, he directed it, and he's put me in as an actor. And it's dope, man. It's a comedy series. It's about basically GAME is an acronym for getting a major edge. So it's showing guys how to because for example, one of the sketches is about chivalry dying. So it's supposed to be putting you up on your game with everything, women and lifestyle, and so it's funny. It's funny. It's dope. It's based on his book, also by the same title.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's on YouTube already right now.
The Book of Game.
The Book of Game. So we'll check that out, man. Where can they find you at, man? And tell everybody.
Hit me up, man. Instagram, Cory fucking Fernandez. No E in Cory. No G in fucking.
I had a hard time because for some reason I've been putting E in your name for years.
You came up with that shit.
And then the fucking messed me up because I was looking for Cory with the E Fernandez.
Hey, I always wondered how'd you come up with that shit.
I'm sorry, y'all. The bricks are peeling off.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can't see it. You can't see it, but the wall is coming up. The wall is actually peeling. It's like we in a fucking Jordan Peele movie. So Cory fucking Fernandez.
Yeah, Cory fucking Fernandez. Actually, shout out Mitch Marchand. Y'all know Mitch?
That's the homie.
Yeah, Mitch.
Mitch Marchand gave me that name years ago. He was actually the person responsible for getting me on Coming to the Stage.
I remember. That's right. Mitch was part of that. That's right. Yeah.
The first show that I ever did when I first started, and it's basically not a good thing because I was basically getting on his nerves. So it was like his way of cursing me out without cursing me out. Yeah. He'd be like, Cory fucking Fernandez has to change his flight again.
Oh my God. Wow.
And so that's how, and I was like, you know what? It got such a nice, it just rolls off the tongue. I'm going to keep it.
Yeah. That's what's up, man.
Shout out Mitch.
Shout out to Mitch. We got to get him on here too. He writing for the Oscars and everything. Mitch doing his thing.
He's doing big things.
Yeah, he's doing comedy now too, man. That's what's up, man. Yeah. So, well, man, we appreciate you coming on here,
Thank y'all for having me. It was a good time.
You're always welcome to come on here, man. Anytime, man. Definitely, man. We like to probably have when sometimes I can't make it, Cory can't make. I'm sorry, Tobe can't make it. So we definitely want you come guest host sometimes for us. Is that cool? Man?
Yeah, no doubt, for real.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cory fucking Fernandez. That's what's up, man.
Oh yeah,
it's going down. Tobe Hixx, what you got? Anything coming up, man?
Yeah, I do. But first of all, to all the listeners, go to creditkarma.com.
Yes.
Credit Karma has helped me out, has turned my life around. I mean, my credit was fucked up. And I seen the commercial for Credit Karma, and I downloaded the app, and things have started to change ever since. I mean, Credit Karma, they will let you know everything while it's happening. It won't be no surprise shit that just pop up. I mean, just recently, just on my Credit Karma, it popped up that child support payment was due. I was like, damn, Credit Karma even know when my child support payment is due? Trust me, if you're trying to get your score up, this is the year you had goals. You wanted to change your life. Start out with your credit. It doesn't cost you anything. Just download the app, creditkarma.com, and just follow the instructions. I mean, when I say follow them. Some of the shit might not seem like it makes sense, but follow it. I fucked up and made a mistake. They told me to get a Fingerhut account. And the Fingerhut book came to the house. I had the motherfucker in my hand. I threw that shit in the trash charge. I said, man, I ain't paying all that shit for that finger hut.
I
shit.
still owe finger hut some money.
Right. So, but then I end up speaking to somebody who was fucking with Credit Karma, and they said, yeah, man, they told me to do finger hut, and I ordered finger hut, and I bought some shit, and I paid it off, and it boosted my score 100 points. And I said, my dumb ass didn't follow the Credit Karma instructions. So follow them to the T, whatever it says, no matter, like I say, even if it's finger hut, just get you a comforter set and pay that shit off and be done with finger hut. They're going to charge you $300 for that comforter set, but it's going to raise your credit score about 100 points.
You're going to have monthly payments of $29.99 for 6 years for that
so
comforter.
It's worth it. I'm serious. Black people, white people, I don't have to say white people. Black people, Latinos, white people always keep their credit up in most cases unless they on dope. All right. But, hey, work on your credit. CreditKarma.com is there for you. Download the app. Send them a message once they start helping your credit and let them know you heard it on Dope Dealers Podcast.
It's going down, man. And follow us on Instagram, Dope Dealers Podcast, Twitter, Dope Dealers Podcast, at Jamal Doman, JamalDoman.
At Tobe Hixx, TobeHixx. And check me out this Friday. I'll be at the Manhattan Lounge in Whittier for the people in the LA area. And March 21st through 24th, I'll be at Pechanga Casino. Come on out if you're in there. It's it's number one rated casino in America. Come out, enjoy yourself. If you're in the LA area, plan a day, spend a night, come out and fuck with your boy. They got a club right upstairs. We're gonna get drunk as a motherfucker. We're gonna have bottles, and it's all going down March 21st through the 24th at the Pechanga Casino.
That's what's up, man. Nice. Definitely go to if listen to us, please rate us, review us, subscribe to us, spread the word, man. We have a phone number that you can call and talk to us. Phone number
818-335-2065.
Once
again, 818-335-2065. You can call, you can send a text, and you can talk to Toby.
Definitely, man. And check out also our sponsors, always one of our main sponsors, Doman Cheap Movers. Doman Cheap Movers, the number one moving company in Los Angeles, man. Listen, man, we love you guys, man. Spread the word, man. Please rate us, review us, spread the word. We are Dope Dealer Podcast. We out.